live from the district. 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 Live from the district.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
The wonderful Angie. The lovely Angie. Angie Stone.
Angie Stone, your girl. You guys got tracks together.
Yeah, we got tracks together, man.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to sit down with you. You're one of my favorite artists, man. I've been pushing your music here in the DC area for a really long time, and I'm excited to see that you're going to be at the Birchmere tonight, man.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. This is gig number 5, I believe. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Great reception so far in Chicago, New York, and Atlanta. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. Wonderful.
So, for the fans, the people that don't know who Omar is, let's start at the beginning, of course.
Right.
You're from London.
Yes.
And you grew up in a household that had music in it. Talk about your humble beginnings.
I was all over the place, My parents split up when I was 1, and I moved to a place called Canterbury when I was 6. And it was there that I kind of like started to learn all different kinds of things about music. My father bought me my drum kit, my first drum kit when I was 5. And it was like a kid-sized drum kit. And then at school, in primary school, I started to learn the cornet because my next door neighbor, this sweet old lady called Doris, had a battered, rusty old cornet that I could play. I started with that, then added the piano to that, then I had the guitar, then played percussion in youth orchestra as well. So anything to do with music, I was willing to do it. And I think I kind of got it from my dad because he's a drummer. He used to play in the 60s and 70s. Artists like Doris Troy, Bob Andy, Marcia Griffiths.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So your father played with, hold on, back up. You just glossed over it like it was no big deal. Your dad played with Bob Marley and Marcia Griffiths.
No, not Bob Marley, Bob Andy.
Bob Andy.
Hey, Bob Andy. And you know, young, gifted and black.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob and Marcia. I know why you thought that.
Okay,
I said that.
yeah.
I got to be careful, but there was a time I actually thought my dad played with the Rolling Stones, and I told people, and he was like, "Why'd you tell him that? I never played with the Stones." I was like, "Okay, I got to get my facts straight." So yeah. I just think that's where my stock comes from,
Okay, and Ghana? Is it Ghana?
Yeah, my parents live in Ghana, but they're from Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah, they moved. They both moved to England as kids when they were about 8, 9 years old, and then decided about 25 years ago that they wanted to move to Ghana because they're both Rasta, and a lot of people, of the diaspora, go to places like that.
Wow. Well, we can see how that spilled over into the music because. There's a lot of jump up tunes.
Well, Ghana Emotion, that was made out of me jamming with my dad in their guest house in Cape Coast in Ghana. And that's it comes through the music, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we jumped ahead. You're already talking Ghana Emotion, and I want to talk about It's Nothing Like This, which was that the breakout tune?
That was the biggest one. I'd actually been releasing music 5 years previous to that. This year is actually my 40th year.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
That is good.
Releasing, blessings, absolutely. My 40th year. And I started when I was 16 and released a song every year up until 1990, which is then when I wrote the album, There's Nothing Like This. With the title track, that's the one that broke out and went international.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk about the writings of this song and production for people that don't know the story, because there is a story behind that record.
Absolutely. So I was going through my dad's record collection as I was wanting to do when I was young, and I came across this album by the Ohio Players called Skin Tight.
Skin tight.
Exactly.
That bass line.
Yeah, exactly. And then I came across the song "Heaven Must Be Like This."
Okay.
That just blew my mind because around that time it was a lot of sampling. It was sequences. It was dance music. It was hip hop. There was nothing. There was nothing organic about the music. But when I heard this song, it's bass, drums, keys, guitar, and wonderful string section. You know what I mean? With a beautiful melody, beautiful song. But the bass line on that, if you listen to the bass line on that, you will understand where I got the bass line for "There's Nothing Like This."
Doom 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 doom.
Yeah. So check out the one on "Heaven Must Be Like This." You'll understand where it came from.
Wow.
Yeah.
The sample.
Big inspiration. No sample. I played
For legal purposes.
Yeah,
not a
absolutely.
sample.
What we doing, bro? Trying to hot me up, man? No. It was totally legal. But yeah, that's where it came from.
But wow, that is crazy to me, because I'm telling you, when I heard that record and I heard your vocals on top of it, I was like, what the hell is this?
Right.
I have never heard anything like that before. And
Well, you had, because you probably heard that album by Ohio Players.
Oh, of course,
right?
but
but it was a period of time when people stopped doing that, or they stopped making music like that.
Right.
And I was determined to do that, because that's where I come from. I play bass, you know what I mean? I play drums, I play keys. So why am I going to sequence it or sample it when I can do that myself?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I just like to experiment with music. This is why I've had the longevity that I have. It's because I just like to keep experimenting and making sort of what I think are new little changes, subtle changes, and in the evolution of my music. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it just works for me. And
now, for the writing of the song, the actual lyrics too, talk about that as well.
I don't know if I can. So I started writing this song about like 11 o'clock in the morning. And so I recorded the bass, the drums, the keys, did the string section. And then I had the melody in my head, but then I had no lyrics. So I took a break and I went and bought some tea. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Some leaves.
No question.
Okay. And I made some tea.
I mean, your family's a Rastafarian.
Right.
Come on, man. Link these things up, folks.
You connect the dots.
Absolutely.
So this is where that's then the tagline. There's nothing like this. That came from the melody. The melody. The dun 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 dun. There's nothing like this. You know what I mean? So I was like, there you go. And then I had to build everything around that. What's going to be like? What's nothing like? You know what I mean? And I thought about the mood. So sitting in front of a fire, lying on a rug or something like that with a loved one, this is the mood that we're going to do, you know? This is the mood we're going with. And it seemed to resonate with people. It was a very lucky thing that I did.
Right. Well, classic record, one of my favorites. Every time I played a tune for a friend, she's like, oh my God, what is this? So I think in our last interview, did I play the remixes for you, the American remixes of
I'm not sure. I'd have to hear them again.
Have you heard the American remixes of the record?
I've heard many remixes of the record. So
okay,
yeah.
And your opinion of those remixes? I'm just curious.
Some good, some yeah. You know what I mean? It depends. You'll have to play it to me, and then I'll give you my opinion.
Right. I don't have my vinyls with me, so I can't do that.
Well, that's very lucky.
But maybe next time. Maybe next time. Okay, so in London, you were labeled as the is it the Godfather of neo soul?
Oh, neo soul, yeah. This is what I read. Yeah, I'm never named that myself, but that's what.
How do you feel about that label? I'm just curious.
It's an honor to be called that, but I don't really watch that. There's so many good artists, musicians out there as well. You know what I mean? Especially when I started out, it was called acid jazz, and people like myself. Young Disciples, Incognito, Brand New Heavies, Jamiroquai. Everybody trying to do that same kind of retro feel of the soul and the funk music. You know what I mean? I was just part of that wave that was happening. So the fact that they label me is, it's nice. That's all I can say. But I don't take it to heart.
Right. So you caught Erykah Badu's attention, though. Obviously, your voice did. Tell us the story of what happened with that.
So she came to London one time. I think this is when she was starting out, and she mentioned my song "Little Boy," which is almost my third album for Pleasure. And she just said that she was in love with that music. She was a nurse at the time, and it was something that carried her through that moment. This is something I'm learning since I've got here. I've had many people come up to me and tell me that my music has helped them get through certain times, you know. So I see how cathartic that music can be. But and then I was in New York recording a version of "Be Thankful," And I was trying to think of who could sing this, with me. And she called me out of the blue as well. I was like, oh man, I got this track we could get on as well. And she was like, yeah, straight away. And there she was in the studio. And I'm really grateful for that connection.
Right. You've recorded with some pretty amazing artists. And like one of my favorites is the Stevie Wonder connection. Now, tell us the whole story, because you told me the story before, but for people that don't know who you are, or maybe just learning more about you, tell us the story about your connection with Stevie Wonder.
My manager at the time, his name was Keith Harris. He's also an associate of Stevie's as well. So every time Stevie comes to the UK, he helps out there. And he gave him my second album, Music. And Stevie said he loved the music there, and he wanted to write me my first number one. I was like, I don't care where it goes. Let's just go studio. You know what I mean? Because Stevie's the biggest influence for me. His album Secret Life of Plants is the one that got me started. That was even before Songs in the Key of Life. Secret Life of the Plants was the one that resonated with me more than anything. So yeah, we were supposed to work in studio. This is about 93. And I get the phone call, because I'm waiting now, because my manager, Keith, was telling me, right, you wait for the phone call's coming, and then you got to be ready, you got to go Wonderland. And you know where Wonderland is, right? You know that's where they recorded Songs in the Key of Life and all the classics. So I got the phone call to get down, and I got down there, and I had to wait a couple of hours still for him to do. And then he was ready, and he was like, right, just walk with me. And we went to the production suite that he did, and we got chatting and stuff, and then he started talking to me about the price of fish. And I was like, what? And he's like, you're falling asleep. So I was like, okay, it's not happening this time. And then fast forward for about 7 years. Oh, no, we're talking about 6 years, because it was 1999. I get a phone call out of the blue. So, yo, man, it's your boy. I'm like, who's that? He goes, Steve. I went, Steve who? He goes, Stevie Wonder. I went, nah. You know, there's an episode on the Cosby Show when Stevie's in it, and the car crashes and stuff, and Stevie calls Theo, and he goes, "Oh yeah, it's cockroach." It was like that. It's totally that moment, and I said, "Sing something for me," and he did, and I went, "Oh my God, this is him." And then for that 2 weeks, he was I was like his ambassador, because we went to restaurants, we went to clubs, we went hotel, and then we finally ended up in the studio. My friend's studio called Wendy House. And it was just an amazing time. You're in the studio with your hero. First thing he does, he comes in and he plays giant steps on the piano. Oh man, I was like, wow. And then he gets on the drums as well. And then he starts giving this groove. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. And it was like, okay. My friends were there at the same time. So Max Beasley on drums, Jerry Meehan on bass, and Glenn Nightingale on guitar. And then it was just like jamming this thing out. And I'm like, I'm in seventh heaven. You know what I mean? Because you're there with your hero, your idol.
Were you nervous at all?
Well, yeah. You know what I mean? It's sort of like... you don't want to put a foot wrong. You know, I'm that kind of person. But he's such a fun guy. He's a very funny person as well. It makes you quite relaxed and at ease. But then we just got this song, and that was the start of Feeling You,
right? Which
is on my album Best by Far.
Yeah, one of my favorites of all time. One of my favorites. So now, what is this about you now? Acting, or you were in some show called the EastEnders. EastEnders. You played Avery somebody.
Avery Baker.
Okay, so how did this whole acting thing happen?
I've been acting for a little while. You know, I've had little parts in.
What were you in Top Boy then, man?
Oh, because I'm not street. You know what I mean?
You could have been in Top Boy.
I've auditioned for that a couple of times, and I was definitely
You could have been Sully.
I don't know. Is that the main guy?
Yeah.
See, I haven't watched it yet. That's the thing. That wasn't. It wasn't meant to be the Top Boy. But EastEnders, that was definitely meant to be. So that's it. For those that don't know, it's a long-standing. What do they call him? Soap opera.
Right. Daytime show.
Daytime. Well, no. It's on in the evening.
Oh, it's in the evening.
It was very popular back in the 80s.
Okay.
Started off in 1985. and I got this little brief part. It was only meant to be like 3 or 4 episodes, maybe 5 or something like that. I can't remember. And the part was basically he's a white boy. He wears 3-piece suit, smokes a cigar, drives a Bentley, and he's very, 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 very brash. And I end up in the pub as well, singing with all the punters as well. So I was like, when I read the part, I was like, that's me. That's me, that is. But I get killed off, so I don't know if there's any way I can come back.
I gotta catch that. I don't know if I can see that on YouTube, but when I saw that in my notes, I was like, wait a minute, I gotta ask you about that. So now, keeping it acting, man, these British artists are putting Americans out of business, bro.
Where?
Idris Elba.
He's been around for a while, though. He's been around for a while. And Baltimore as well, and just right up the road, right?
Yeah. He was on The Wire, and of course, he's taken off from there. But, I mean, these British actors are doing very, very well in America. I'm just curious why you think that is.
I have no idea. It's just I don't know, maybe it's the characters, maybe it's the accent. I have no idea, but I would hope that I could jump on that little bandwagon
well,
as well at some point.
I'll tell you what, like Idris in The Wire and a lot of these films, he just had an American accent. And the guy that played
everybody thought he was American.
The guy in Snowfall is also British as well, I think.
Yeah.
The lead guy, American accent.
Yeah,
I mean, and they're
down.
able to segue and not use their English accent at all.
Right.
And just talk like African Americans. That's like crazy to me. Can you do that?
Don't try and fix it. Don't get me into a corner, man.
Take one.
I'm not doing that. Are you auditioning me? Is this what this is? This candid camera?
So one of my favorites, Marsha Ambrosius.
Yes. Amazing. That was one of the best concerts I've actually been to, was Floetry in London. Natalie is as well, flow assist.
Right.
We got a track together on my last album.
Really?
Yeah, Love and Beats. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to check it out.
Yeah, Marsha's doing an amazing job. Her latest album with
voice.
Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
Casablanca is one of my favorite albums. I mean, she's an incredible talent coming out of the UK as well. And she speaks English in her and you hear her accent in all of her interviews as well. But I'm just
but she's definitely got a little influence of American.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that she said on one of her tracks, and you can hear it in the music too, is the American influence of the Stevie Wonders, the John Coltrane's, the Miles Davis, and all these other influences of American music, are inside her, and we hear that through her music.
Of course.
Do you feel that's true for you as well?
Yeah, I was listening to people like King Pleasure as well. I mean, when I first started out, it was Jeff Lorber, it was Level 42, it was Dennis Brown, John Holt. My thing is a big mixture of all styles of music. You know what I mean? But jazz is definitely one of those, and Latin too. I was with my grandmother one day, and she started speaking Spanish, and I never knew she spoke Spanish. I was like, "How come you know Spanish?" And then she tells me she was born in Havana, Cuba.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, if you check the Latin songs that I make, you know what I mean. That's kind of where the vibe comes from.
Right. Awesome. Couple more minutes and we're done. So, Omar, I want to ask you this, man. I read an article that in 2023 that you were diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now you're doing well. God bless you. First of all, I'm glad you're doing well.
Thank you, bro.
I'm glad you recovered and that you're now on the front line to talk about this issue to men worldwide.
Yeah.
Why did you think that was important?
Because it's being in front of the disease is key. You know what I mean? That's
early detection.
Early detection is going to help you out so much because you got more options and they can deal with it a lot better. The more you leave it, the worse it's going to get on. I have a friend who I went to college with. I mentioned this to him about just getting yourself tested. It's a simple test. It's called PSA. It's a blood test that they give you, and there's certain markers there where they could see that there's potential that you have it, and then you can go on to the next things, which would be the MRI and then the biopsy to know what's going on. But at least then they could tell you what the diagnosis is and what you can do about it. And any men over 50, you have to do it. Black men in particular, because you're twice as likely to get prostate cancer. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about conspiracy theories or anything like that. Just get it done. You know what I mean? It's a very simple test that you you can do. I know people that have lost family members and friends from the disease, which it's a terrible thing. So knowledge is key. That's what I think.
Well, we're glad you're well.
Thank you.
And keep up the great work in that arena. Now, let's get back to the music. We're about to wrap up. So,
okay.
Let's go ahead and bring the plane in for a landing. Your live performance, bro, I mean, it's like there's nothing like it. Excuse the pun.
Right.
Why do you think Americans, I mean, your popularity here is well-deserved. And, I mean, we love your music, man. Why do you think that we're able to grab onto that vibe and then follow you like 10 or 15 years?
Sure.
It's like crazy to me.
More 20, it's 30 years, I think, the love affair has been. I don't know, it's something that resonates between you and me and the vibe here and everything. I mean, the American crowd is something different to perform in front of. I think you guys, I keep saying this, you turn it up to 11. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's something that's a great thing for a performer, to get that kind of response. And it's a give-take situation. The more you want, the more I give, or the more I want, the more you give. Just as simple as that. And long may it continue.
Right. I mean, because I've seen you perform live like 2 times, and I was like, God, Lee, look at this. It was all my friends. Right. I was like, how do you guys know about this? And it's kind of like, I don't want to say your best kept secret, but I think that when people see you live, they get it and they connect, because the music and the vibe in your bands have always been so incredibly strong as well too. Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to have really good musicians in the bands that I play with. I mean, these guys, we played together for like 25 years at least. So it's just great to be back with them as well. I don't know. I just seem to be in the right place. I mean, I enjoy what I do. I'm really grateful for what I do. I give thanks every day. You know what I mean? To be able to perform my music, in front of people that appreciate what I do is no mean task. You know what I mean? It's not a little thing. So I don't take it lightly, and I'm very appreciative.
Right. So I see some of the band members right there. Who was that in the hat over there on the left side?
In the hat is Mr. Mike Griot, who's our the bass player and MD of the band. To the right of him is Eric Brown on drums. Over there, underneath the D of the Birchmere, is Teddy Crockett. And on keys is Mr. Raleigh Neal. Somewhere around here in a big hat is Vivian Sessoms, our lady vocalist. And these guys have been, we've been getting it down, man. I'm really happy with the vibe.
Right, well, yeah, man, you guys kill it every time. I'm going to probably be here tonight. I'm going to see if I can slide over here some kind of way.
Sure.
Make sure I check out the show. Now, Birchmere, all the other times that I've seen, you know where I'm going.
Yeah, go ahead.
All the other times I've seen you perform, it's never been in a place like this. It's been smaller clubs. It's been, like these other different kinds of spots, like in the city. Yeah. This is different.
Yeah, I mean,
this joint is tight.
We've been mainly doing the city wineries. So it's all sitting down and that kind of vibe. But I'm used to that as well. In London, there's a place called the Boysdale that I'm frequently playing. Or Ronnie Scott's is another one. So I'm getting used to these little sit down shows. But by the end of the show, everybody's up. Right. Everybody's up and dancing. It's just great to be performing in front of the crowds again. I mean, COVID feels like it was just the other day. You know what I mean? Even though it was like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? But I remember that feeling of not being able to perform. Which is why I started streaming from my studio, and you just gotta enjoy and respect the fact that you can play out in front of people again. So, new music coming. There's something in the works. You're working on something. I know. No, it's not working on something. It's done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called. It's my 9th album. And it's cool.
I get to play it first? I mean, here on XM Sirius Radio?
There was a limited vinyl, which is getting released on Friday.
Really?
Yeah, it's on in The Impressive Collective and BBE Music. And it's called Lovey Dovey. You Google all that, you'll see what we're messing with. But we're actually releasing a single every month from February down to June, which is when the album is going to be out there. Got the wonderful India Ari, Ledisi. We got Eric Roberson, Raheem DeVaughn.
The homie.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, I couldn't be happier with this album. It's kind of like going back to the old school what I did before, because I got a couple of really 3-4 really good string arrangements on there. Three of them done by Chris Cameron, who did my records like Tomorrow, Last Request, Tell Me. Just some really good classic shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is some back to the thing that I love so much. I mean, it's 7 years since the last album, but yeah, I'm really happy with this.
Okay, so I need a world premiere. What record are we gonna play right now on XM Sirius Radio? HUR Voices.
You can put Lovey Dovey, which is it was written between myself and my brother, the Scratch Professor. We've done so much music together over the years. I love my brother, man. Roland. He's gonna hate me saying his proper name. Scratch Professor. You want to when you hear his beats.
I heard he's a champion DJ too, right?
Well, he did the DMC championships when he was 10 years old.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And came like third and stuff. And he's kept the skills going since then. But yeah, Lovey Dovey. Check it out. And there's a version. The version I'm telling you about, it's gonna be on the album, is with Eric and Raheem.
Okay, with the homie Raheem Devine.
Yeah. It's bad.
Shout out to Raheem Devine real quick.
Oh, big up Raheem, man. Say you made that, you busted up that track. You made it wicked. I'm telling you.
Appreciate you, man. God bless you.
Boom.
All right.
Thank you, bro. Oh, and Eric. Don't forget Eric.
Eric Robertson.
Yeah,
Jersey.
That's the dude. That's the dude as well.
Live from the district. Live from the district. Live from the district.